Hey everybody, welcome back to Retro Rescue Garage / Adventures Bound. Well, I told you there'll be some videos coming, and this is probably going to be an unpopular video for a lot of you car guys out there. But as you see behind me, we have a fully original, unmolested 1966 Corvette. With that being said, the owner would like the triple taillights installed on the rear end of this car and the reverse light below the bumper. Now, I have searched Google, I have searched YouTube, and I haven't found too many videos on a lot of guys doing this job. I'm gonna have to science the hell out of this. There's multiple ways of doing it. The proper way is to take the body off the frame because there's no access back there with the frame in the way. You have to install or fiberglass pockets, make pockets for it, measure it, all that stuff to do it properly, to install the proper light in there. This guy doesn't want to do that. He doesn't want to take the body off frame, doesn't want to disturb anything back here. He just pretty much wants the lights in, which is okay. That's what everybody wants. And I have been chosen to do it. I'm pretty good at fabricating, pretty good at doing stuff like this, coming up with an idea. I did come up with an idea on how to get it done. But once I cut a hole in the back of this car, it's permanent, it's done. And the reason why I say that is this paint is original, this paint is mint. You're not gonna be able to match this paint. And with that being said, that's why I'm saying this is gonna be an unpopular video. I can already see the hate comments coming, but this is what the guy wants. The guy's adamant on wanting this done, so we're going to do this, and I'm going to take you along with me and show you how I do it and the idea that I came up with. All right, let's give this thing a look over. 1966 Corvette Stingray, second gen vet, man. What a gorgeous car. What gorgeous lines. These cars back then, maybe $4,000 or $5,000 brand new. Man, is that crazy? And this car is worth almost $100,000, $80,000 right now. And here it is sitting in my garage. Love it. Now these, I think they came with 427s or 425s. This one here, I did talk to a guy today who has done a lot of work on it, so I do have some information on the car now. He had it for a while, and he put a crate 350 in it with, I think, married to the T5 tranny, did a bunch of suspension work, did a bunch of brakes work to it, custom exhaust underneath. So everything you don't see is all pretty much brand new underneath this car. All of it's been updated, but it's got the original glass, original trim, original body, original paint. That's one of the reasons why it's here, because I was going to buff it out, but it turned into a job with doing the taillights and some other work that he wants done to it. But man, look at the ankle burn exhaust, red line tires. That's a really cool look. Like I said, it's a 5-speed. Look at that. Just imagine cruising this thing back then, man. Yeah, it's done some car shows, looks like. Headliners in gorgeous shape. Seats are in beautiful shape. Man, I'm going to say it's all original. I'm going to assume it's all original. But just look at that. Man, clean. Real clean. You don't make them like this anymore, fellas. And to think, like I said, you get these cars for $4 or $5 grand back in the day. Now, I think the 67 is the one that came out with the split window. Am I wrong? Or is it 65? I want to say a 67 had a split. This is also a cool look as well. Man, check that out, guys. Old original wood grain steering wheel. Man, gotta love these old cars. It's in really good shape, man. And driving in here, it's strong. Ooh, let me tell you, it's strong. It's hard to stay out of it, I will say that. Pop-up headlights. Nice clean engine. New brakes. Looks like a bunch of suspension work done to it. New radiator. Somebody definitely took care of this car. But yeah, man, we're going to get back to it. We're going to get back to these brackets to show you how to install these lights. Like I said, I'm probably going to get a lot of guys not appreciating this video with me getting ready to hack up the axe end of this car. But the guy was adamant. He wanted it done. There's no job I won't turn down. There's no challenge I won't turn down. But I'm going to show you my idea. I already told you a little while ago that there has to be a pocket. There's no access, but we'll get to that here in 2 seconds. All right, here we have the reverse light that he would like to be put down here. As you see, there's no hole here. And he wants the third light installed here. Now, I have seen that done. It is pretty cool. It's a cool look, a cool retro look. But like I said, there's like no videos on there. Now, you have to understand, this light, and I'll post a picture up, sits in a pocket in here that's fiberglass formed to the body. There is zero access behind here to form a pocket, at least to go at least 3 inches deep on the bottom. You're hitting the frame. So you'd either have to notch out the frame or something like that. I really can't estimate on what it would take because I don't have the body off. But I have had my hand up there and there is no room because the frame runs right below here. And the tolerance behind is real shallow. So the proper way to do this would be to take the body off the frame, form your pockets in fiberglass, mold that to the car, do your thing, sand it, blah, 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 and then install your light. Now, I think he's leaning away from the trio up here, which is okay. I've seen a lot of guys take the reverse light and put it on the bottom and then add another backup or parking light as a second here. Now, I've already got my template cut out to put right here and cut my hole out with a hole saw. 3 and a 16th, 3 and an 1/8 hole. I still got to measure it out. We got the hardware, got the wiring, got everything we need. It's actually pretty simple. You just tag in this light to this one for your backup, or not your backup, but your brake lights and your turn signals and whatsoever. And then you take the connections to this one and just flip it down to the bottom. I have come up with an idea on how to mount this, which you can see, and I will show you. There is no to mount this light. It is going to be, as you see, at an angle, but I have to find a way to adhere this light in there without making a pocket. But I have come up with an idea, so stay tuned. You just might like it. All right, so I already told you I came up with this really cool idea on how to mount these lights in the back of this car. Because like I said before, the original lights are formed in a factory pocket, and we don't have a pocket. Now, the proper way to do it is, like I said before, you gotta drop the tank, or the spare tire, you gotta drop the tank, and eject the body up off the frame, because you have no access back there. The frame is right below where that section of the lights is. And you have maybe 5-6 inches of play to barely get your hand up in there to even loosen the screws to remove the lights themselves. So we're not doing the proper thing as fiberglass and you're making pockets. We're not doing that at all. So we're going to do this on the, we're going to make it up as we go kind of idea. And I came up with an idea. Now this is one of the original, well not the original, but one of the other lights to this car that we are installing in the back of this 66. Now you notice in the back there's 2 studs. Now these 2 studs fit into a pocket. Well, we don't have a pocket. We need 4 pockets. But I came up with this idea. You all know what this is, right? Yeah, it's your basic gauge for your oil temp and oil and stuff like that. I got to thinking, well, what if I take and make a fabricated bracket like so, fabricate it around the center, and have it held against itself, against the body of the Vette. Fair enough, because when I cut the hole out, I'm going to have at least a 1/4 inch where this is going to sit in, this is going to be on the outside of the body, and this will hold up against, in theory. I think it'd be a pretty good idea. I think it would work. There's no other way that I can think to mount these in there without, like I said, doing the proper way of making a pocket. So we're not going to make a pocket. We're going to go ahead and use this idea, which was I got to make 2, 4, 6, 8 brackets. But yeah, I don't know. Thinking outside the box, I thought it was a pretty good idea. I think it'll work. And it won't be so bad for the next guy when he has to take these out or whatever life of or happens or where this car goes, whatever, you know, who knows. But I think it's a pretty good idea. I just got to get busy making a set of brackets like these, and we should be all right. All right, so far I managed to get 1 hole cut, and I got the light mounted in there. As you can see, it's held in by a pocket. And I've already said it in this video that this is going to be an unpopular video because we are not taking the body off the frame and there's no access, and we have not dropped the tank yet. The guy didn't want the tank drop. Well, I talked to him yesterday, he came over, he loved the look of the lights, and you can see how it's going to be right there. You know, this one's not the right one, but that's what's going to be up there. Close enough. Supposed to be a reverse light. So I got one cut out, which is real tedious because I don't want to crack the glass. I don't want to have to repaint, anything like that. So the tolerance on this hole is really snug, really snug. As soon as I get this other one on this side drilled out, then I'll show you that process. And like I said, I'm just drilling a bunch of holes, taking my grinder to it and reaming it out and making it as tight as I can. And we still have to do the ones here and over there. So stick around because this is getting interesting. All right, as you can see, I got the second reverse light hole cut out. Now I'm still working on oblonging and making it the right size to fit this. Now the problem with this light is, I'm not sure these are factory, obviously these are remanufactured or knockoffs, but there's a tamper from the back to the front where this light goes and it gets bigger. So I'm using just a grind down tool for attachment for your drill, and we're going in here nice and slow to try and get that hole nice and snug so this fits in there nice and snug. And once these bottom ones are in, they're moving up to the top. We are going to be adding a third light here and on the other side. Now it's going to be pretty simple. The guy didn't want me to drop the tank, but I have to drop the gas tank in order to get these in. I can cut these out. I might be able to fish the wires through. All I got to do is drop the reverse wire down to these lights. And then as far as these lights go, I just got to tag in to these two, or these two, the new one. Pigtail, you know how it goes on these GMs. They're pretty simple. Not to mention, we do have wiring and whatnot to do it. Now, like I said, this is going to be a very unpopular video for a lot of you classic car guys out there, especially these spec guys. This is a very expensive car, and I don't know if a lot of guys turn the job down or are afraid to do it or didn't want to do it, or charge too much. I've been on the job. I'm wanting to do the job. I'm excited to do the job. I'm nervous at the same time, so I don't want to mess up this car. So this all has to be perfect. But I'm going to keep on making it to where this hole is big enough for this light to fit in nice and snug. Now the problem I'm running into with this light, these lights are, there's a frame, which is right, I don't know if you can see it, but it's right there. And the top stud is hitting that, so I had to remove this stud. So we're going to run into a little bit of a mounting problem, but I have a plan. You know, any of you body shop guys know what panel bond is. It's pretty strong adhesive. Is in a caulk form. And you know, Mercedes use it on their roofs. A lot of manufacturers use it. Stuff pretty damn strong. Once it's dry, you ain't getting this stuff off. It holds stuff together pretty good. So I'm going to be able to mount the bottom bracket, but I'll probably panel bond the top because there's no other way to really do this. Like I said, the proper way to do this is take the body off the frame, build your pockets, fiberglass in there, and do it right. But we're not doing that, obviously. So yeah, I'm going to keep on trucking on this one here and getting it to where this light fits, and move on to the top ones. Now, as you see, the farther I go, the farther it goes into the body. So you got to keep on grinding. It's got these little notches in here. I don't know if you can see them very well. Now, I could take my grinder, just grind all this down, but I really don't want to do that and take away the integrity of the light because it's pretty thin through here, and this is just pot metal. And in time, this will corrode and fall off, especially down here in the south with the salt. So we're going to keep on going until we get this to fit in there nice and snug, like you see, but we got another, I don't know, inch to go. little by little. That's all you gotta do. And every bit I go, it goes farther and farther up there. All right, we're gonna keep on going. All right, so we got our hole to the precise size that I'd like it. And it slides in there, nice and flush. I have plenty of room around the side, and it's nice and snug in there. Well, that's how it's done. Now the fun part is figuring out a way to mount these, because like I said, you can't see, I don't know if you can see in there, but the frame is right there. See my finger? Right there. And what I planned to do was I made some brackets that I was going to use against these studs here up to the body, which is not going to work. So we're going to have to improvise, and I'm probably just going to use one bracket or make a bracket to form from this side of the nut to that side. I haven't figured it out yet. So, but the holes are cut. Again, unpopular video. The holes are cut. They're nice and snug in there. They fit good. Boom, just like that. Both sides. Let me see the other side, but it's over there. And we're going to go ahead and figure out a way to mount these. But actually, I'm going to go ahead and cut the other two holes up top. So that's the process. I think it looks pretty good sitting there back there like that, personally. It is a cool look, and especially when the third one gets up here, it's going to look pretty cool with the 3 red and reverse. It is a pretty cool modification. A lot of guys are doing, but like I said, there's not many videos out there of a lot of guys doing this, at least showing you how to do it. If you're a body guy like I am, or you've done stuff like this, you figure it out, or you go as you go. Like I said at the beginning of this video, the proper way is to pull the body off and drop the tank and blah, 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 blah. But we're not going to do all that. So I think we're doing pretty good, making good progress. I think that looks pretty damn good. Thankfully, we didn't scar up any of the outside of the body here, so there's no paint touch up, nothing like that. Boom, it's in there. It's gonna look sharp. All right, time to go up top. All right, we got the bottom ones cut out. Now I'm moving up to the top. Now I've done some simple math, simple measurements, and it's only 1 inch between both lights and 1/4 inch from the top or from this body line right here. Now, all I did was take the light and transfer with my measurements, put the light up there, boom. Now I know I have to stay at least 1/4 inch off or in for this to fit in there and not see any light on each side. So I went ahead and used the gasket to come with the light, which is the inside center. Put that up there like that, and there's our hole. You know, I traced that with a marker, and now we're just gonna drill this section out. Same thing we did on the bottom. Keep oblonging it out, keep drilling it out until it fits in there nice and snug. And that's it, man. I mean, like I said, this is not a job I wanted to do. I didn't like hacking up this car, but I really think it's gonna be a real cool look. And I know you guys can do it. All you guys can do it. It's just, we find ways to get things done affordable. We get the same results as somebody else. Once I get these all cut out, then we're gonna, like I said, go into figuring out how to mount these. So as soon as I get these cut out, I'm gonna show you what it looks like. We're gonna place the lights inside, and then we'll all be able to see what this could actually gonna look like with all 3 up top and reverse us on the bottom. All right, there you have it. The third light, whoop, this one is finally in. Boom, look at that. Now granted, I didn't make a pocket for this, but now I have to figure out a way to mount this in there and wire it up. But third light is in. Well, pretty much right there is what it's gonna look like. Now that is a pretty cool retro look from back in the 60s, but I like it, man. One more hole to go. Okay, now that we got our holes cut out, now we gotta figure out mounting and the wiring. Now all we're gonna do is pigtail off of the main light onto the second, or the first light onto the second light with these connectors that come with it. So all we're gonna do is tag in one, tag in another, and we've already got the bottom reverse light hooked up. All right, now that you see that our holes are cut out, we have to figure out how to mount this light. Now, as you see, these have studs on the back, and they just screw in and boom, 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 you're done. The second one, or these lights here, don't have a pocket. Now, the only way to do this properly is to jack the body off the frame, fiberglass a pocket in there, and do it the right way. Well, of course, we've already discussed we're not doing it that way. So my idea is to take this bracket here, or these, and come down. I made 4 of these, or a set of these. And they're gonna come down like so on this one. And that there is just gonna go up against the body, which is right behind here and right behind here. And that should hold the light in place, because I don't want to put these in there permanently. I want them to be able to come out if, in the event that they ever get changed or something happens or whatever. But yeah, we got our holes cut out. I've already got the reverse wire hooked up. That was a pretty easy. That was just a splice in and add some wire to it. So the reverse light will be good to go. Now, like I said, as far as the driving lights and the parking lights, or parking lights and turn signals, I'm going to have to pigtail off of this one to the second one to the third, which you could pick up these connectors here as jumpers. So all I got to do is tag in, you know, and make sure it's all grounded, make sure it's all right. I haven't found out yet if the guy wants one to blink or all three to blink, but I know all three are going to be stoplights. I'm going to assume it'd be kind of cool if we can get the retro ones where they just come across when you hit the turn signal, man. That'd be kind of neat, like the Mustangs do, but we're not going to go that fancy. So we're going to have our brake light, and these are all going to be driving lights as well. So yeah, so we're going to get to wiring, and we're going to splice these in, and we're going to check it out when we're done. Well, it's like I said earlier, now it's down to wiring, and I think I got it figured out. Now, for a guy like me, I can't stand wiring. Body work, engine building, I love all that kind of stuff. When it comes to wiring, I hate wiring. But this is pretty simple, cut and dry. We do have the reverse light hooked up. It does work. Now the top, all I did was take and make branches off of the main hot, which is right here, and branched off two more to the other two lights that I've added, and each one has to be grounded to the light itself. Let's go turn the switch on and see if they work. Yeah, I can't stand wiring, but let's see what happens. All right, moment of truth, see if they work. Yep, comes on, comes on, comes on. All right, so now we know they work, and now I just gotta mount them back into the car, and this side here, our driver, our passenger side, is buttoned up. Now we're gonna move on to the driver's side. Man, any of you guys that want to try doing this stuff at home, you can do it. It's not that hard, but I can't stand wiring. I really hate doing wiring. Body work, engine building, any kind of custom fabrication, I love doing that kind of stuff. That's up my alley. But wiring, to me, I'm just not good with wiring. But on these old cars, it is pretty simple, cut and dry. Like I said, all I did was take two branches off the main hot coming in, added two more for the other two lights, and then dropped down the hot down, or added to the hot wire to the reverse light, and they grounded that one out too. So everything is working. Now it's just time to put it all back together and button this thing up and let y'all see what it looks like when it's finished. Okay, everybody, there you have it. The lights are installed. Let me tell you, I procrastinated for probably 3 or 4 days before I actually decided to drill a hole in this car. It's a perfectly mint, not restored, but definitely updated suspension, you know, a lot of other new engine, a lot of good stuff done with this car. In '66, you had just the regular parking light and a reverse light, and now the guy I met, he wanted the reverse light added to the bottom and 2 extra driving lights, which is a cool look on the cars. A lot of guys did this to these Corvettes back in the day. He offered me the job. I said, well, you know what, I kind of skeptical about doing it. I said, you know what, I'll do it. Found out they didn't want the body come off, they didn't want the tank come down, they didn't want the spare to come down. So I had to figure out a way to do this without going ahead and tearing this car apart. Now, to you professional body guys out there, you know, that do restorations know better that the body has to come off the frame, or at least the tank has to come down. And the spare has to come down to form the new pocket, because these two here have a pocket that's factory formed. This one does not. Now, you do have to form a pocket and fiberglass it in there and paint it and all that. You know how that goes. Well, he didn't want to do any of that. Way too expensive. So he wanted to kind of do it not on the cheap, but on the down low, not as expensive, but get the same kind of result. Well, challenge accepted. I did it. It took me a couple of days, but everything's squared up. Everything is equally measured out. I scienced the hell out of this because it's got to be right, because my name's going to be on it. And I get a lot of side work out of doing stuff like this. You know, they all say I know a guy. Well, I'm usually the guy they say I know that does this kind of oddball stuff that guys want to do that other shops are afraid to do or too expensive to do. Now, basically all I did was, for the reverse light, I dropped the reverse wire down, added 4 or 5 inch to it, and plugged it in and grounded it. Easy peasy done. Now for these two lights, same thing. I pigtailed off the main, branch, got power, each one is grounded. Now, let's see if they work. And there you have it. They work pretty cool, man. Now, I can't leave this on too long because I've been doing this a lot this afternoon or this evening. So I'm starting to kill the battery so I got to put a charger on this battery. But yeah, this is a pretty cool job. It came out pretty cool. I think it looks slick. You know, you vet guys out there that want to do something like this, go ahead and knock it out, man. It looks cool. And don't be afraid to do a job, guys. If somebody wants something done and you're capable of doing it and you have the wherewithal to do it, knock it out, man. This is the kind of stuff I love doing. These are challenges I like doing. It stresses me out working doing it, but until it gets done, then I'm happy and satisfied. So I know the guy's gonna be satisfied when this is complete and this is finished and he gets it this week. But hey, man, thanks guys for watching. Try to keep the comments on the low, man. Try not to be too much hateful on me for what I did for this, but thank you all for watching. Thank you for my followers. Thank you for all the likes and the comments on all my other videos and the new subscribers I got. And if you ain't subscribed, come on, man, help a guy out. I'm just a little guy doing side jobs on the side. Subscribe if you want to. Battery's going dead. I better turn the ignition off. Now, I just want to throw this out there that there will be another video coming up here in the next few weeks. A buddy of mine, his name is TJ, he is starting his own YouTube channel. So, you know, him and I are going to be collaborating on some stuff together. Retro Rescue is going to match up with him or connect with him. He hasn't got his name settled out yet, but we're going to work it all out and get his stage, his channel going. And him and I are going to collaborate on some really cool jobs we got coming up. We got some will it runs, we got some engine stuff, we got some body work, we got some spraying, we got some drag truck stuff. A lot of cool shit coming up, man. A lot of cool stuff coming up on this channel and his channel. So you'll be able to follow both of us. But again, thanks to all my new subscribers. Like, share, subscribe. But until next time, guys, thanks. This is Retro Rescue saying peace to the next video.